Phoenix, 1959. On May 4th, 38-year-old Earle Baltzer and his new bride of 1 week, Lorraine, and her 2 children, Tommy, age 8, and Sunel, age 5, were moving into a house on East Van Buren Road. The house was located in the rear of a tavern called the Tip Top Tavern, which was operated by Earle. While Earle and Lorraine were getting things moved in, Tommy and Sunel went to the backyard to bury their pet rabbit, Charcoal, who had been killed by a stray cat. When they found a spot, Tommy began digging. Suddenly, a human hand became visible. The 2 children ran screaming inside and told their mother and stepfather, who went outside to see for themselves, then called police. Police arrived and roped off the area as jail trustees wore gas masks and began digging. They would dig all around and under the body to preserve it, and the body was found on a layer of asphalt which prevented it from being buried any deeper. Police determined it was the body of a woman. They interviewed neighbors who said they were unaware of any woman in the area who had gone missing. Earle Baltzer told police he was shocked by the discovery and that no woman had lived in the house during the year he had been there. Earle was asked by detectives to go down to the morgue to see if he can make an identification of the body. He did, and he was unable to identify the body. The county medical examiner speculated that she had been buried 1 to 6 months and that her body had 3 wounds in the lower chest and upper abdomen. The body was identified by investigators as 48-year-old Peggy Ellen Baltzer, Tip Top Tavern operator Earle Baltzer's first wife. When police informed him, he told them he hasn't seen or heard from her since she left for Las Vegas to get a divorce from Earle a week before Christmas. Earle told police since she never contacted him, he never heard from Peggy, he assumed that she divorced him and he was free to marry Lorraine, his waitress. He denied knowing how Peggy ended up buried in his backyard. Her death was listed as unknown causes by unknown persons. Police discovered Earle and Peggy were married in 1949 in Las Vegas. She had been arrested several times for drinking and once on a morals charge. Court records show she had sued him in 1957 for threatening her with bodily harm, associating with other women, and separate maintenance. Police zeroed in on Earle. By August, Lorraine had separated from him and charged him with assault, threatening her, and non-support. Earle filed for divorce the same month. In early September, police showed up at the Tip Top Bar and told Earle he was under arrest. When Earle asked them what it was for and the police said, "For murder," he replied, "Okay." A few weeks later, a closed hearing took place and prosecutors argued they had built up a circumstantial case, which included the testimony of 17 state's witnesses. Justice of the Peace Charles F. Coppock dismissed the charge against Earle Baltzer and set him free, saying the evidence was too skimpy to hold a man to answer for a first-degree murder charge. In 1958, there was an article that appeared in the Arizona Republic. Peggy Baltzer made a complaint to police about the business next door to the tavern, the Quality Blueprint Company, and about how their ammonia fumes were seeping into the bar and making people sick. The article described her as the owner of the bar, and that police would turn the complaint over to the health department. Now, little did she know that she would be murdered at the end of the year. After her disappearance, Earle would put ads in the paper looking for single, attractive waitresses. No other information was available on Earle Baltzer or Lorraine or even her children. It's unknown whether or not he left the area, whether or not he stayed there, how long he lived, how long they lived. No other information, so this is kind of where it was at. This is where it ended. Earle was a free man. And this is the location as it appears on MapQuest. Location where the Tip Top Bar was. And here's the location as it appears today, going down there and taking some photos. Where on a afternoon in 1959, two children, sad about the passing of their rabbit, attempt to bury it only to find a body. This has to be the most ridiculous case of someone being 100% guilty in every aspect and not being brought to justice, but being set free. Okay, the second most.